Street art is something that I've long been intrigued by because it's a manifestation of the people's desire to communicate to each other.
I've been in Liverpool for about 18 years or so. I paint graffiti for fun, I was out for a job, and I travelled all over the place. And I also happen to run Zap Graffiti where you're at now.
I'd started a clothing range called Sine Mission that I use for the street art, and I just heard about this thing called guerrilla marketing, pretty much going around doing what you want to do, not asking permission. So I thought that's a piece of me, that.
I work for Cass Art. I meet quite a lot of street artists anyway. Liverpool does have laser cutters, so I use their laser cutters to make big stencils basically.
So I did a mural for my niece's bedroom. That was just because I had nothing to do at the time and I was struggling to get work. And from there people said, well, maybe you've got a talent for this and maybe you should do it, think about doing it as a career. But obviously I didn't know where to start. So I thought to myself, I need to do something that shows to the public what I can do. And that's where it started really. So the first piece I did was for all Liverpool's Liver Bird, which is the wings on Jamaica Street in the Baltic area.
What we need is the kind of the rattle of the overhead railway that's in Bronx and Brooklyn and places like that, where street art began and where tagging became a really important method of communication. But it's aggressive, it's often confrontational. Taggers have been killed by other taggers. You know, taggers have produced an awful lot of problems for both street artists and for themselves.
You know, it's in the name, tagging, it's, you know what I mean, it stems back to kind of like marking territory for me. In terms of the skill set and stuff, a lot of the taggers, they're really good graffiti artists and stuff, you know what I mean? The skill set's way beyond a lot of the mural artists, but that's not what they like to do. You know, a lot of the writers and taggers, when they show me their black books and they show me their drawings, I'm like, they're extremely talented, very, very talented, but that's just the genre they like, so, you know, it's not a scene I'm involved in.
To hate tagging, it's kind of hating the start of street art.
Without the tagging, you wouldn't have any of the beautiful murals. It's like the total basic form. If you listen to, I suppose it's basically your instrumental to your full piece of music.
Most of the time it is by guys, male artists, and I can't understand what it says. If I can't read it, how am I supposed to find out who they are?
People say, oh, graffiti is not an art form, it's vandalism. It's actually one of the first human art forms if you go back in time, back to the cavemen and women times. As well as singing and dancing, people were doing graffiti, leaving their mark.
They do have a skill set, that's what I know, but just don't go over other people's work, that's what I'm thinking, do you know what I mean? Go next to it, yeah.
You know, tags don't add, they don't make things look more beautiful. That's not their point. The tag is there to say, I was here, and fuck you.
There's reasons why some people don't want to get their faces shown, do you know what I mean?
70% of the people I know work within a helping sector. You know, I do myself. I can't be seen helping the person that day and then the next day I'm drawing cocks on walls, do you know?
Because they could go to jail for it. There's other guys who'll jump on the bandwagon and go, oh, I'm going to hide my face, but I haven't really done anything that would merit even being chased by the police. They might be sticking up some stickers. It's not like they're risking themselves to go on a train line or...
Because when I first started, it was illegal. I didn't really want everyone to know who it was. And I didn't also want people to be saying, I'm only doing it for the likes, I'm only doing it so people know who you are. That's not the case.
You know, to have 1,000+ followers you know, is one of the goals. Whether street artists admit it, and there's a whole lot of self-deception going on, I kid you not. Street artists are roister-doister kind of slight banditry type people. They're piratical and they don't care, but they do. They really do. They really want to be loved.
I think it really does affect the community in a positive way.
You know what I mean? People travel and want to get the pictures took by the Wings or took by Klopp, do you know what I mean? It does.
I know that particularly for all Liverpool's Liverbirds has brought in a lot of people into the Jamaica Street area.
In the summertime, we brought artists from all over the world. The summer before that, we brought over 94 artists, which like painted different sites. So like in the Baltic area, what's the Fabric District, and all over town. And basically it's about fun, you know.
I get a lot of messages off people about like how much this certain quote has helped them throughout the day, or they've been having a shitty day and they see a positive quote that just helps pick them up.
Yeah, I think it totally affects the whole community. It's actually created a community as well, because if you walk like so far down the Baltic, you'll probably see the same artists and stuff, and then the work will go and then it'll come back, and it's a lot of the same artists. A lot of them don't all hang out together, but they all know whose art what, and but definitely affects everywhere in a good way.